Good morning, everyone. In this video, you can watch me struggle with a manifold. The original manifold had studs, and this manifold, being equal length and a little customized, didn't work with the factory studs. So I removed the studs, which you'll watch through the video. And then I tried to use the bolts, but I had to get a little clever because of the way the pipes fit. So there's a couple studs and then bolts, and then they're Allen head. And then if I remember right, a couple of the bolts were regular bolt head as well. Anything to make it work, to where you could tighten it with a wrench, because there was no way to reach some of the spots. Once this exhaust was on, it worked really well. It was just a matter of getting it to fit with my particular car. The exhaust is made in Bulgaria by Extreme Tuning, and they'd have a jig. And I think they have a test car, but it's, everything's a little different. And so, when I got it, I had to make it work with mine. Part of the issues were hoses in the way. The air conditioning line was hitting the exhaust. Coolant lines had to be relocated. So part of the process of that was just, adjusting for the fitment. Anyway, you can see here that I've got the two studs in, and hoping that the header works. That's why I've got that gasket in there, so I don't have to take it back out. And there's the coolant line in the way that I eventually move. Here you can see I've got a stud remover tool, stud installer tool. The studs, I think, were too long. It's hard for me to remember exactly because I did this a year ago. But I had to do some fitting back and forth. I used stainless steel hardware, and eventually I got it to work. But it did take me probably, if I remember right, at least half a day just on this one manifold, between cleaning things up and, sorting out how the fitment would be, going to the hardware store, the old trip to the store and back 5 times. And I had tried my best to pre-order things online, but you know how that goes. And then the stud, once I was set up right, I installed them, fully. But I think this one, if I remember right, that the one stud, you just couldn't fit it in because it was just too tight. So I had to use a bolt there, which was annoying because I'm pretty OCD when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I would prefer that all the hardware is the same, especially if you have to take anything apart again, and then you have to remember exactly which studs go where or which bolts. I had to change some of the lengths as well, because of trying to get a wrench on it or whatever. So that was the only thing I didn't like about the exhaust, was the hardware side. Once it was finished, it was definitely worth it because it sounds amazing, and it's for sure the best part of the car. So in a minute you'll see that I removed the stud to get the fitment in there, and I put an Allen head screw and then that took care of the issue. The collectors are coming down through, you'll see here, and then in another video I finish up the rest of the exhaust. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.